Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Scorpio. If Scorpio is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Chariot. Okay, and let's see what these tea leaves have to say. All right. I'm so amazed. Shout out to my husband, Paul, from Dove and Serpent Tarot. If you haven't seen his channel, go check it out. He helped set up some new equipment for me. Just a little bit different in the background here. But I'm trying to get used to it, and it's all kind of cool. I have a little bit bigger of a monitor to look at, so I can see even more clearly. So I'm like in awe a little bit. So let's see. If you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay, I want to start here because this one is pretty striking. It looks like we have the scorpion for Scorpio, the body, the legs. Okay, I'm going off the wrong. I'm watching. There's just a tiny bit of delay on the other thing. So, so anyways, there's a little tail here, and so we see this. I mean, it's the whole formation basically. So we're in a place of power this week. And that makes sense. We have that Chariot card. So hard at work. Okay. Definitely in your zone. Definitely making use of all those wonderful Scorpio attributes. And hello, TT. It's weird to see you on the big screen here. Okay. So your unique vision stands out to me. Your ability to bring something new to the table. You are ever devoted to the things that you love. And I feel that this work that you are doing is something that you do really love. And so it comes easily to you this week. And it is punctuated with that eclipse energy. I mean, it's been so wild for me. Last night I had just a vivid dream. And towards the end, I could see the phases of the eclipse happening in my dream. And I just thought, my goodness, this is really a very powerful eclipse. I don't, sometimes it feels that way. Sometimes I don't even necessarily realize that they're happening, to be quite honest with you. But in this case, yeah, it just seems to be felt by so many. And as this reading is coming out, it will be only hours away from that eclipse gateway. And so we're coming into this power of yours, Scorpio, and I really do feel like you applying yourself in such a way as you are now and as you will be, room for a lot of advancement, okay? And I think that as we've talked about in the last 6 months, a year, there has been this turn towards doing things for yourself, really kind of leveling up your life in all areas. I know that there was a tower moment last year, and something kind of just shook you out of maybe it was like a lovely slumber that you were kind of in your life, or maybe you were just kind of on autopilot and not really paying attention to, okay, there you go, jump. Not really paying attention to, you know, kind of what was going on. You know, we all have those periods of time where we're just kind of surviving the days, right? Getting through the hours. And I feel like you are really beyond that kind of living. I feel like you are meeting the day with a lot of, you know, appreciation, a lot of gratitude. I was going to say gratefulness. No, gratitude. You know, and just excited to see what you're going to be kind of up to. You know, I know that you probably keep somewhat of a schedule, but I think that you also like the spontaneity in your life as well. And I think you're allowing yourself that a little bit more in this period of time where I feel like, you know, in previous cycles, you maybe were trying to be really tight to a schedule, to a routine. And that, I think that's important for, you know, most of us need that. Right? But you need places within your routine where you can deviate. And nobody deviates better than Scorpio. So I think you're allowing for yourself to have more time to just do what you want to do, wherever your kind of heart, mind, soul takes you. Okay, let's see. Now, it feels like I see 3 sisters here. And over here, I see another person with a cat. Oh, interesting. So I see almost, okay, so I see 1, 2, 3 over here. I see like a pot with steam coming off, but it looks like an arrow, kind of a, you know, like a bendy, wavy, windy arrow here, going into the pot. Then we have a little girl maybe in a dress. When her head is here, we have a cat, okay? But if you go down, you kind of gaze downwards a little bit. Beneath these energies, we have a person's head here. You can see the eyes, the mouth, kind of the body right here, locked in together with this other person. Here's their body and their leg. Oh. TT, come on, mama. Listen, you gotta go. I love you. Go find Poppy. He's in bed somewhere. Okay. Or somewhere, I should say. He's in bed or he's somewhere else. Somewhere in the house. Let's see. Okay, where did you go? Oh, yes. Okay, so we have the head right here. You can see the eyes, the mouth, and kind of locked in. This person here, you can see their leg is out, like they're in their, it's bended. Their foot is, you know, really set in there, leg kind of back, and it looks like they're kind of in a tussle, these two. Kind of, I can almost imagine like grabbing each other's hands and kind of pushing back and forth. And so I feel really that we have kind of the material manifested energy here, right? And then above it's kind of these, the more kind of daemon or the higher thinking. So I feel like there's this kind of separation, maybe within the family, maybe within a friends group. There are at least 3 people who are really tight, like very close, kind of almost get the, maybe almost get the vibe of like mean girl, right? Or mean guy, or both mixed together, you know, a mix of people. And just kind of, you know, they're solid in their little friendship, their little family clique. And here we have kind of this outsider energy, but it is one that if you can look at it, it seems like this is this child with the cat, it feels like a very individual person, somebody who is creative, who is well-formed, who, you know, can spend time by themselves doing the things that they want to do. Doesn't necessarily, like, you know, vie for the attention of these over here. Now, I do feel like within this family dynamic that there is maybe a magical element, okay? And that is that these are practitioners. It's kind of something that runs in the family. It's maybe part of the culture of the family. But there's this sense of being very separated on some issues or, you know, some family business. And so, okay, for just 1 second, and then you got to go, Mama. Okay. And so I feel like we're getting to a point where there is kind of a real argument to be had here. Something is building up. It seems like it's coming to a head. And I almost feel like you being in this energy of the one that does not necessarily belong. Almost kind of like the ugly duckling story, right? Where maybe when you were a kid, you didn't really belong to the culture of your family, or maybe where you grew up, or, you know, whatever it was, you just had a hard time figuring out your place. And okay, go. You can't, you're clawing me all up, mamas. Somebody, last night she was being very bossy about being up here, and somebody said, oh, you spent half the reading with your cat. Well, yes, I did. I'm sorry, I'm not going to confine her to a place in the house, and she has free domain, and she's just as much part of these readings as I am. It just happens to be that she's scratching up my shoulder, so I just can't have it tonight. But she does bless us, so I apologize, but also we're keeping the cat. She stays, so don't even ask. But let's see. So I feel like kind of this, just feeling maybe, well, and feeling like the, you know, yeah, the ugly duckling, like you didn't belong to this group of people, and they were not shy about letting you know that maybe you did not fit in. And I feel like maybe you up and left, you know, as you got older. You went off to school, you decided to move, you know, maybe had work in a different part of the country, the world, wherever you are. And when you have had to go back for whatever reason, back home, you're met with these kind of three wicked sisters. And that's not to say that they're really wicked, but they don't seem to have a lot of kindness for you, or for most people, I would say. And so, you know, I do feel like something important is coming up, and I feel like this is maybe kind of like making some decisions within the family. You know, there is some turmoil there. I feel like, you know, it's hard for you to maybe include your opinion about whatever this matter is, because you are not living close. You're not physically there. And I don't think that you communicate that often with them either. So, you know, it feels like almost an intrusion in some ways, but at the same time, you are family. And, you know, there are family members that definitely rely on you and trust you to make good decisions. So, I think that, you know, there's just some conflict in interests here. I don't know what the underlying motivations are, but I feel like it's something that really kind of stresses you. And I think this is why, you know, you really do spend so much time doing the self-work and, you know, trying to to further your career, your education, your relationships with the people you have chosen to be part of your life, and you know, I mean, kind of avoid this whole other, you know, energy. It's not that inviting. It's not that inviting. So I don't blame you. Not one bit. So I do see we have a person here. It looks like their head is tilted back. That's the cat. She's mad that I won't hold her. So she's over there. The door is open, but she can shake it. And she's letting us know. Mom is not holding me. Okay, so we have the eyes. We have the mouth. We have the head back, kind of raised towards the sky here. Arms open, right? This beautiful kind of face in the chest here. We also have a face right here. And it also kind of looks like a cup, right? Like you can see kind of the base of it. I'm getting used to how this works, like on the monitor here. So it does look like the chalice. So we have the Ace of Cups. And I feel, you know, you're very much in your faith, or in your practices, your beliefs, the things that make you feel something. And I feel like there is this sense of awe whenever we have a person or an animal or whatever, where their head is kind of, if you can imagine, looking towards the stars, held back and eyes open looking up. To me, this is a real indicator of awe, of agape, of wonder, of revelation, of being in that most supreme light and encountering the divine directly. So there are these Mesopotamian statues, and they're called votive statues. And there's a whole collection of them. They all have these large eyes, and the pupils look quite dilated. And they're kind of, they've always been one of my favorites. And they are said to be, and now I don't know how they know this really, maybe there's some text or something, but these are images of beings, of devotees, kind of witnessing God, or whatever God, you know, that they kind of worship under. And so, you know, I always have this idea, yeah, it's like, you know, looking up there and seeing, you know, that divine thing, that kind of spiritual visitation. And with this kind of peaceful, almost sleepy looking face, it really does make me believe you are in a place of kind of being able to pull yourself away from all of that other stuff, and finding some peace. Being able to really employ the techniques that you have been learning, the meditation, the breath work, the kind of maybe guiding yourself through these situations. Maybe you have, and I'm thinking of like active imagination. And I did not finish that sentence, that thought. Or, you know, maybe using some, what is it called? Primal screaming, right? Allowing yourself to just have a guttural reaction to the pain, to the feelings of separateness, of being singled out, of never quite finding that place that feels like it's yours among those who are supposed to love you. You share blood. You know, you come from the same place. And they're supposed to love you and honor you as you would love and honor them. But for whatever reason, it didn't work out that way. And let me just say to you that you are loved. And I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I come from a similar situation. And yeah, it sucks, right? But we are the ones out here with the torches in the dark of night, illuminating. Sometimes we have to go about this work by ourselves. I mean, almost always. Almost always. And as I'm trying to think of the word that I can say on here without getting in trouble, but as excrement as it is, sometimes we who have been pushed out, we who have decided to leave, we are the ones that will lead our lines into the future, And not only that, I think it gives you the opportunity to either follow in the footsteps of alienating people and hurting people and being selfish, or, and this is where I think it really often goes to, especially for those who are doing the greater work, it's that we demand inclusive spaces in our lives. We will not put up with the bullying, with the singling out, with the making people feel bad about just being themselves. Whatever that looks like. Isn't it amazing and silly and just, I mean, it's hard to understand. How could you not delight in the variety of life? What a freaking blessing it is. Why would you want everything the same? Everybody the same. How boring. How boring. Not you, though. Not you, Scorpio. And that's why I love Scorpio so much, because you just get it, right? You just do what you do. And if anybody has a problem with that, they do not need to set their gaze upon you, because you are just going to be whatever you want to be. And I love it. As a Virgo, I am like, if you could imagine, I'm like at my blinds, peeking out, watching you do your life outside, and just living it up. And I'm a wee bit jealous. A little jealous. I have a little bit of that spirit in me. I try to be brave, but nobody's as brave as a Scorpio. So let's see, what else do we have? I want to look for some numbers here. Let's see, where are the numbers at? So I saw we had 131 right up here. 131. And we have the M. So we have the M. That seems like maybe a name. We have it repeated down here. And then we have maybe just a 2. I was going to say 22, but I think it's 2. And we have a bird. So I feel like you're going to have 2 very distinct messages. And oh, look at that. Perfect. We have the Scorpio symbol there. Last night I had the Cancer symbol in the Cancer reading. It was wild. So we have the Scorpio in the Scorpio reading. I love it. So we also have, okay, so we have that. And it feels like 2 messages, 2 distinct things coming through for you at some point soon. And the M, it's like everywhere. And then we have a 4 right here. So we have 1, 3, 1. We have 2, and then we have a 4 for numbers. Okay. Oh, and a dog. That's the, I was like, look at that. We have this beautiful face here. It reminds me of maybe like a bulldog. I always wanted an English bulldog when I was like a teenager. I really want an English bulldog. They're very cute. Even still, I know, but they're, you know, and no judgment, but we are definitely a rescue family. Every cat I've ever had, every animal I've ever had to grace our home, to be a companion, has been a rescue or a foster. TT is technically a foster. And her mom, who was fostering her for, couldn't take her back. And she ended up just staying because I'm that type of lady that, and then I adopt. I can't foster. I can't because I'll keep them all. Yeah, so the bulldogs. And it seems fun and silly and lovely, and I feel like I can even see the ear kind of like flapping up a little bit, and I feel like I feel like you're really going through some different emotions lately, kind of, you know, there like a sense of real emotional fluidity, I would say. But a lot of it feels like very confident because you are in action. You're not just kind of hoping for things to get better. And I feel like you have like this command in your life, and you are really allowing yourself to kind of pull up out of that kind of, well, like I say, the stinking thinking kind of rut that we can get into, and so really emerging from that, right? And this family stuff is not going to get you down. It absolutely will not. Okay, so we have a 2 and a 1 right here. We also have, it says it looks like an N-O. No. We have an R and a Z. R and Z. Or BZ maybe. So, I feel like there's almost a sense of a lot of snakes showing up in your life. And I feel like they're actual snakes. I don't think that this is like people who are snake-like. It feels like you've encountered some snakes in one way or another. Maybe you're afraid of them, or maybe, you know, they're a welcome energy in your life. But I really do feel like it's a blessing. This is like a good omen. And I feel like it really does have a lot to do with clarity. The knowledge coming in, right? These kind of spiritual downloads happening. And I do feel like, you know, it is amplified with your devotion to really contemplating the questions at hand, and so it is paying off, all this work that you are putting into trying to find that equilibrium in your life. Okay, so we have the Indigo Sage affirmation cards, and these are the air element. I'm gonna go ahead and we will go through and stop where it feels right. Ooh, we have these beautiful hawks. Oh no, they're parrots. There's some kind of parrot. The black and yellow parrots. I don't know what those are. Maybe those are cockatoos. I don't know. That you'll have to tell me because I'm not familiar with like tropical bird. I didn't have. My parents had a parrot when I was young, and it was not an ideal situation for the parrot because it was like just kids in the house, and you know, it was like the 90s, and I don't know, people I don't think had as much education about having exotic animals, and it really left kind of it imprinted my mind quite a bit about having birds. It is something that you have to be so devoted to. And, you know, when you see birds with good bird parents, human bird parents, they're so happy. They're, you know, but yeah, for me, I don't know that much about them really, because I love birds, and that's surprising because I love birds. I go and look at birds every day and watch them and feed them outside, right? So anyways, I don't know. It's a cockatoo, it's a parrot, it's something. It says 1, rise, celebrate, fly with the inner freedom your awareness ancestors dreamed of. Fly with the inner freedom your ancestors dreamed of. Yeah. Yes. I wonder about this sometimes. The inner freedom. You know, I can't help but wonder if at times we are just so locked into the things that we're doing. We're so busy. And it does, you know, at times feel like we are so very advanced and everything is, you know, we're evolving and at this wild rate and everything else. And then I think, you know, how many people that are just disinterested in life, they're displeased, they're unhappy, they don't connect with anybody. They don't know how to, they struggle with that ability. And I don't know, I don't know. I think I contemplate this a lot. I guess because as happy as I am a pretty happy person usually. I'm also like a very morose person and very melancholy, and I do get into the labyrinth quite often of my mind. So I read this and I think, yeah, maybe. But then at the same time, I wonder, maybe my ancestors, they're so close to the earth. And they're just, living under these huge, beautiful skies and living off of instinct even more than we do, and the lack of like noise pollution and light pollution and everything else. I don't know. I don't know. But I am also indigenous, so to North America. My family is Choctaw, and so I do also think there the atrocities that happened not only to my tribe but to many groupings of people. I hope that that family of mine that survived against all odds would be happy, or is happy, to see myself, my daughter, living, such a small life, but a beautiful life, right? Nothing, no big, no lofty goals, really. Just that that we may find some love, and find some ease and some beauty, and treat each other well, right? So Scorpio, I want to tell you I love you, because I do, and I think you know that. I hope that you do. I just am always so honored to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It's free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you. Other than that, happy, I was going to say equinox. No, that's not the right thing. Happy eclipse. Hold on tight. No, it's going to be wonderful. Everything is as it should be. It always is. So, good night, good night, good night. I love you.